All right, let's do it. Today's Zaleski Sports Show. The clock had expired already. So today's Zaleski Sports Show. Jason Zaleski here, Dan Ross here. Today, on today's show, we're going to do a football recap. We haven't, Dan just reminded me, we haven't talked to you since state football.
Thanksgiving week.
Mm-hmm. Also give you number one girls basketball teams by division, and then tell you where to find the rest of them. And we're also going to give you some score updates, along with Dan Ross's very popular Merriwood Minute.
It's all yours, and it's all now.
And we're back. My buddy Scott Mankato did a couple of baseball broadcasts with me over the last couple of years, and that was the only thing he was excited about is when we came back from commercial. And we're back. He just wanted to say that every time. Whatever. I guess you give a guy. It's like in The Wedding Singer. I have a microphone and you don't, so you'll sit down and hear every word I have to say, and that's what we get to do today. Football. Crowned some state champions a couple of weeks ago. We were off last week. The show and the Merriwood Minute each took the week off last week to enjoy Thanksgiving and festivities and family and all that kind of thing. Did you get enough to eat Thanksgiving?
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. My mom is a cooker. She loves to feed. She's a feeder.
Feed me.
Yeah. Made enough so everybody could go home with like 4 servings per family. Love her to death.
Yeah.
But she's a big reason why I am who I am today.
We had a lot of food too. The hit of the day, I think, was the smoked brisket. We had brisket on the smoker for about 10, 11 hours. And I was really looking forward to it Friday morning to eat it, and or whatever that next morning was. To my surprise, it was gone. 10 pounds. Gone.
Trevor?
Probably. And or Marissa, and or somebody else. Just gone. That's all right. So I threw a little bit of a fit. So Rachel went to the store and she got some pre-cooked brisket and brought it back.
Not the same.
Not the same. Now it does taste good, but the way it's on the smoker and you do it yourself, it's your own creation, and it's a lot. But I'm glad everybody liked it. Glad you had a nice Thanksgiving. So let's get back to it. When we were last on the air a couple weeks ago, we were on this show. We were at Camp Randall Stadium. We were down there in the south end zone, having a nice time, cutting it up.
That's right.
It was a windy, warmish, windy day. That is far gone now.
Yeah, there's a lot less snow here than there is in Wausau, I will say that.
More snow in Wausau?
Yeah.
Well, you're further north.
Yeah.
We're down here in downtown Stevens Point, in the south part of the state compared to Wausau.
It's true.
A whole different county here.
Yeah, it feels like March. Feels like the snow's melting. And
I don't like that. Well, okay. That's just a big fat tease because it's not going to be March for a long time. Doing various Coach on the Couch basketball shows, and we talked to the coaches about there being 5 calendar months of winter sports. And we're about to put 1 calendar month in the books. But before we do, football, we had the Edgar Wildcats win a Division VII state champion, the 8th state championship for head coach Jerry Sin. So congratulations again to the Edgar Wildcats. We had
dominating win.
Yeah, it was pretty thorough.
Yeah,
one-sided. Pretty thorough over Blackhawk Warren, half the team from Illinois, but they didn't have very far to drive to Wausau from there, or to Madison. Sorry. And then after, we found a repeat champion in the Stratford Tigers, who did not run away from their opponent, the Darlington Redbirds. Rather, we had an untimed down. We had a walk-off field goal to win it that day, and that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That whole scenario.
The first field goals that were attempted by Stratford happened in the last 30 seconds of that game. Of the entire season. They didn't try a field goal all year. They kick extra points.
Yeah. Which had some varied success through the year. Mm-hmm.
Very true. German foreign exchange student.
Mm-hmm. Lorenz Plattner.
Yeah. And I mentioned it in the Merriwood Minute that kid is still the most popular kid in school.
Yeah, the quick recap on that is the field goal was blocked with 30 seconds left. We were tied at whatever the score was.
7.
It wasn't much. Yeah, 7. Okay, I believe it then. And Darlington was doing their level best to run out the clock and send it to overtime. And Stratford forced a fumble. The ball got punched out. and recovered, and then we had a kind of a wacky series of events. We had a penalty. We had a review. The officials went to the monitor. It was a long time, and poor Lorenz Plattner just had to stand there and wait a very long time to kick that field goal. Fortunately, it was warm. It had been a different year when it was nice. 10 degrees out. It may have had a different outcome there, but they eventually ruled correctly that a game cannot end on a defensive penalty. And so the penalty was administered. It was a 10-yard holding call on the defense that made the field goal 10 yards closer. Clock was on zeros. It was one on time down. It was either going to be a miss and we're going to overtime or a make. And Stratford were state champions, and that's the latter is what happened. And the repeat champion Stratford Tigers. Yeah,
and Darlington took a timeout with 15 seconds left or something. And they're at their own, 25, 30-yard line, somewhere in there. Decided to take a timeout to have another play, I guess. And then, the kid that blocked the field goal fumbled. Because it is...
Forced fumble, though. I mean, good defensive effort.
Yeah,
punched it out.
But it's Division VI, so these guys are playing both ways. Offense, defense.
Correct.
And he had a great game leading up to that moment, and it's bad that happens. Great play by Stratford. But Darlington, man, lots of swings in the last minute of that game.
Yeah, you put yourself on 7, and that went for either team at that point. You limit your offense to just 7 points. You kind of risk everything. The punch, you'll know about this, the peanut punch, right? Mm-hmm. Charles Peanut Tillman made the punch popular in the NFL about 15, 20 years ago.
It's true.
And it's got better since then.
Yeah.
At all levels. They're punching the ball out left and right.
Yeah, and before that, an 11.5-minute drive by Stratford that ran the entire fourth quarter down.
Yeah, it started with just a couple seconds in the third, and then the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah,
essentially.
They got it inside the 5, at the 3 or the 4 or something, and they ran the whole quarter.
So congrats to our local state football champions, and best of luck in your winter sport, which brings us now to winter sports. We'll leave the rest of football talk for the much anticipated Merriwood Minute coming up later in today's Zaleski Sports Show. I'm Jason. This is Dan. Girls basketball rankings are out at Zaleski Sports. I'm going to pause there just a second because there's a key word there. There's a key differential. Rankings. Some of you are familiar with a coach's poll, and that is a survey that is these days emailed. It used to be something else, but faxed or something. But emailed, and the team statistician or the ball boy or somebody else eventually ends up sending that back in. And
if at all.
Yeah, right. Many don't send at all. That's a very good point.
There are coaches that have no idea they're supposed to.
No, or don't want to.
Yeah, and they've been coaching for like 20 years. They have no idea that that's a thing.
Yeah, and the ones that don't want to, I think, are probably doing everybody a favor, because how in the world could you know about all 70 Division V girls basketball teams in this case?
Impossible.
And be able to put them in order. There is no way. You've got enough trouble just sorting out your own team and getting ready for your next opponent. You have no way to research all this, but we do. And so it's a ranking, and we put a lot of effort into it, put a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of technology, a lot of sleepless nights, all those kind of things. So
mathematics.
It's a computerized situation, and so therefore it is very valuable. And our VIPs, which pay just $5 a month, so our Zaleski Sports VIPs, you find that at ZaleskiSports.com. They get to see the full rankings. I will tell you the number ones on our first of this year girls basketball rankings.
Before you get there,
all right.
I was on it today, and I was surprised because I was looking at the rankings.
Yeah.
I was surprised that you also have condensed games on there. Mm-hmm. Right?
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and I started peeking through it, and it's just play. It's nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yep. Yeah. So the VIP members get all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right, special features, rankings, condensed games, other special video features, all kinds of neat stuff. And when there's new stuff, the VIPs get to see it first. It's just it's $5 a month, and because we put a lot of effort into it, coaches poll. Some put no effort into it, like Dan said. They don't send it back, or they don't want to send it back. Others, they're just. I remember when I was a kid, and you'd have those computerized tests, and you had A, B, C, D, and you had this little form, and sometimes you just mailed it in, or I did anyway, and I just put A, or connect the dots on there. I just need to go to lunch.
Yeah.
So coaches are doing that, right? They are because they have no way to know all 70 teams in their division.
Selfishly, I'm glad that I get about 4 hours a week back from the media poll we did last year. This is much better for me.
Yeah. But that, too, was a lot of thought and effort put in. So, okay, here we go. In Division 5, Randolph is our number 1 team. Laconia in Division 4. Division 3, Kettle Moraine Lutheran. Division 2, Pewaukee. Couple big wins over the weekend for Pewaukee. And then Division 1, Neenah. So there you go.
Neenah is crushing teams. Yeah. They have the best player in the state, I think.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Allie Isabel, best player in the state. A lot of folks, though, very much looking forward to their 2 matchups they get against Hortonville this year. Yep. And those were classics last year. As a matter of fact, they were so classic they played a third in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them missed a layup at the buzzer.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
I'm just going to say she missed it.
She did. It's on YouTube if you want to go look it up. You can see all the fantastic finish on your own.
But the play on the clipboard, drawing that in the huddle, the coach, chef's kiss. Mwah.
Yeah.
Fantastic play. Perfect
right?
play.
If you want to win a game, that's the play.
Executed perfectly up until the layup.
Yeah. Well, because the coach is not allowed on the floor during action.
And the pass was great.
Everything added up to a win for Hortonville. It just didn't end up that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, rankings. VIPs get to see the rankings way different than a poll. It's a whole different category, and it's a more accurate category for sure.
It's based on wins. It's based on who you beat and the team's records of who you beat and who they played. And
Yep. And then soon it's an exact mirror image of the seating formula for postseason. So you be a VIP now and you're set for the whole season. $5 a month. Okay. How about some scores? We had some scores. We'll start with boys basketball, Dan. Basketball is now in full swing. So we were just talking about the girls, the top teams in each of those 5 divisions. Boys the same way. Really, boys really took off this week. There were a few boys games last week, but they're in full throat now this week. And I had somewhat made a challenge to a couple area Division I schools, boys basketball teams, on how they play teams outside of the area in what are thought of as better basketball areas.
Okay.
Fox Valley being one of them. Well, wouldn't you know it, Dan? The Smash Panthers beat the Neenah Rockets yesterday.
Love it.
After my throwdown. And my Marshfield Tigers beat Appleton East yesterday after my challenge throwdown. Brooks Hinson with 2 free throws with 14 seconds left to put the Tigers over Appleton East 52-51. Spash 55, Neenah 47. So far.
Yeah.
So far. Other boys' scores of note, I suppose. Athens over Loyal, 46-43. There's a Central Wisconsin score.
That is a Central Wisconsin score, and that's boys basketball.
That is boys basketball. Yeah. Yep. 3 Lakes over Tomahawk, 66-20.
Yeah, Hatchets. 20. Yeah.
20. Not very many. Marion over Tri-County, 65-41. Early action here. Let's see here. What do we have? I'm just kind of piecing. I'm on ZaleskiSports.com. We've got all the scores right there. It's kind of looking game that you and I were at last night. Marathon, the number 2 ranked Red Raiders over the Spencer Rockets, 77-32. A running clock situation in the second half.
Yeah, they might be really good this year.
Thorpe over Gilman, 57-20. So another 20 spot thrown in here in Central Wisconsin. Rib Lake, 54. Northland Pines, 23.
Yeah, Pines graduated a lot of kids. And Rib Lake, I have heard from alum Levi Ewan that Rib Lake is going to be pretty good this year.
Okay, well, they're off with a win. They are off with a win. St. Croix Central got down by Superior 79-68. Superior is one of those teams I keep an eye on because they play in a Minnesota conference during the year. And it gets really tricky come playoff time with those Spartans.
Yeah.
But they beat a Wisconsin team, though, last night.
Yeah, good job, St. Croix Central playing up to Superior. A couple divisions.
Holman 68, Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln 59. Again, these are all boys scores from last night. Stratford 43, Neilsville 41. Neilsville with a shot at the buzzer to win it came up short.
It sounds like there were a couple of shots that were not made last night in that game. 43-41.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's another Central Wisconsin score, isn't it? 43-41. Amherst 66, Wild Rose 44, and then Iola Scandinavia got past Pittsville 58-32. So Pittsville challenged on the scoreboard at home last night.
Yeah, we talked a little bit on the air for those that watched the Marathon Spencer game. Early on in the season, there's not a lot of fluidity. There's not a lot of good-looking basketball early on for boys and girls, and we're in that period right now. So we are saying it in jest that some of these teams are scoring 20, 30, maybe 40 points, but those teams will likely be in the 60s, hopefully, later on in the season.
For them, I hope so. On the girls' basketball from last night, Freedom over Fox Valley Lutheran 44-39. Kimberly got past Appleton East 65-48. Here's the Central Wisconsin score for you. You ready? Girls' basketball. Amherst 38, Adams Friendship 30.
Wait till you see the Tri-County score.
All right. Maybe I will find it. I don't know.
The Fighting Cole Walters.
Pittsville girls with a road win last night, 65-24 over Iola Scandinavia.
That's a good score for Pittsville.
65 points.
Yeah.
Outscored many boys teams yesterday, did the Pittsville Panthers. Neilsville 71, Mondovi 30. So 71. Stop there. That is a great offensive score. At one point in that game, it was 25-3 in the first half.
Yeah, in a big moment in that game last night.
Yeah, Neilsville's Paris Opelt won over 1,000 career points. She now sits on 1,009. Early in the season, maybe she gets to 1,500. Big-time scorer for sure. Highlights of that game is on Facebook, Zaleski Sports, Zaleski Sports West. You can find previews of it on X and Instagram and the whole thing. I think all you probably know all that. Hudson 67, Shy High 20. Yeah. Marshfield 59, Baraboo 28. That's a game we had live last night.
Marshfield has a good team this year.
Marshfield does have a good team this year. Lakeland 53, Mosinee 38. So the T-Birds with just one Wilmette. Still better than Mosinee with all their players.
Marshfield girls ranked in the top 10, right?
Pretty sure.
9 maybe?
Pretty sure. Yeah. VIP members, go check it out. If you're not, $5 a month to find out, which is like super cheap. You can't buy anything for $5.
It's like half a coffee.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Hortonville, we talked about Hortonville girls. Nina ranked number 1. Hortonville 71, Oshkosh West 46. From last night. Auburndale 43, Columbus Catholic 27. There's a Central Wisconsin basketball score. Really leaning into these today, aren't we? Shiocton, Wild Rose 52-43. Shiocton with the win. And here we go. Tri-County 31, Marion 29.
Congratulations, Cole Walters.
First career win.
It's
pretty good.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit last night.
Was it his season opener too?
Yeah. I mean, he's batting 1,000.
Start off with a win. The Penguins love you.
Yeah, and he has a dollar bill that was given to him and signed by some kids on the team.
Yeah, and the mayor probably too.
Yeah.
Is there a mayor of Plainfield? Maybe.
I have no idea. But yeah, congratulations.
Rib Lake 56, Northland Pines 37, Anago 43, Tomahawk 39. So the girls' Hatchets outscoring the boys' Hatchets last night. Maybe they should play each other.
Yeah, in the
exhibition game.
The Tomahawk girls generally not a very good program. And the Tomahawk boys have been pretty good the last couple of years, but in a lot of these rural schools, it goes up and down pretty quick.
Nina, the number 1 ranked team in the state in Division I, got past Appleton North, 65-44. And let's end it here. Owen Withee, 44, Hurley, 35. Those are girls' basketball scores. There are many others, all found at ZaleskiSports.com. There you go. Scores from last night. Highlights coming all over the place today. They're right behind the wall here, working at a feverish pace to get some of those things ready. I know Stratford-Neillsville highlights. I mentioned Neillsville girls. Mondovi highlights are out there. Many more coming. All kinds of stuff happening.
Yeah, and a couple of conference games in there. So unlike football, where the first couple of weeks are all non-conference, basketball plays a lot of conference games. Some conferences play 16, right?
Yeah.
So they sprinkle them in even early on in the season. And even in the Marywood, there's a couple of teams that are 2-0 and are already working through the schedule, which is good because there's only like 4 months left in the season.
Only.
Yeah.
Just before we went on air, boys score. Auburndale 60, Colby 44. Caden Weinfurter leads the way with 18 points. Caden Anderson 13, Blake Robb 11. So the Eagles get off on the winning note. They had 3 in double digits over the Colby Hornets.
Yeah.
Last night.
There's a lot of discussion about who's the second best team in the Marywood South this year. Auburndale, obviously.
I'd say that's the discussion.
Mark Miller thinks it's Auburndale. I don't think
too.
There's any reason not to think that. Their JV team was almost undefeated last year. The JV1 team.
Okay.
Varsity did graduate a couple of players, but Yeah, the players that you mentioned are going to be major players this year, and who knows, they will definitely challenge Marathon this year.
Auburndale had 7 score last night. 8 played, so 7 out of 8 that played scored. 60-44.
Weinfurter, the tallest guy on the floor.
Yeah.
What did he shoot from 3?
He was 6 of 10.
All right.
Those were the 18 points.
Yeah.
He's a big fella. He's probably 6'6". Spends most of his time outside the arc, and right. I mean, that's where Coach tells him to play, so he plays there.
This is like an ongoing joke, right? You look at the roster sizes; it's not right. Everybody adds height to it.
Yeah, I was probably 6'1" or 6'2", probably.
Yeah, I think I was 6 foot on the roster because I was the shortest kid. I'm 5'6", right? But like who's really counting?
Yeah.
I want to say that in the yearbook, Weinfurter might be 6'8" or 6'9".
No, that's not true. That part's not true.
It can't be right.
No, I got him. I'll put him at 6'5". I'll stand next to him here soon. We'll be at an Eagles game.
I haven't seen him. Like maybe he shot up. I'm not sure.
That's true. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Right? To my knowledge, he doesn't play the other sport, so I probably haven't seen him. Yeah. I know he doesn't play football, so I haven't. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, if he is, it caught my eye, and I'm like, oh, we have a 6'8" or 6'9" 3-point shooter. That's
a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter.
Really good shooter.
I mean, 60% from beyond the arc, and that's where all the points came from, which is a little bit interesting, right? He probably doesn't shoot many free throws. He's not at the rim much, but that's where Coach tells him to go. So I remember a story. I'll leave out the names. And then we'll move to the Merriwood Minute after this. It's a half-hour show today. We got just about 6 minutes left. I was asking a coach the day after a game about something that happened in the game, and the player was standing nearby, and the coach kind of turned and kind of chuckled, and then the player came up to me and I said, "So what was that all?" Well, it's where Coach told me to stand. Okay. Coach tells me to stand there, I stand there. So that was the answer.
So here's something that a lot of people don't know, right? In a lot of baseline out of bounds plays, you have one person who stands in the corner, right? It puts the defense over there. Somebody has to
spread it out,
has to pay attention. But a lot of times when you're going through your rotations, you have kids who are subbing in and they have no idea what the plays are. That go stand in the corner. And like almost every play has that because you have new kids, you have kids that there's injuries, there's foul trouble, they're not used to playing with the 5, and they probably aren't paying attention because they're not in the reps, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're walking through the stuff, you have 7, 8 kids. If you have kid number 10, like Coach, I don't know where to go. Go stand in the corner, and you don't say it because that. Like, you're not good enough, go stand in the corner. It's like, no, that's part of the play.
Yeah, right. Get occupied defender over there because the action's going to be over here.
Yeah.
Coach told me to stand there. That was the answer I got. There. Okay. Got it. Forget about the nuance or anything else that you might know about the game.
Yeah.
Coach told me to stand there, so I just stand there. I don't want to make Coach upset. All right, time now for today's Merriwood Minute, sponsored by Mid-State Technical College. Take it away, Dan Ross.
Welcome to this week's Merriwood Minute. Today, we get one last chance to congratulate the rare occurrence of celebrating 2 state championships in football. How many conferences can say they have 2 champs? The only thing that makes any sense is Merriwood Pride coming back willed the teams to the gold.
It must have.
Yeah. Big shout out to the players, coaches, families, fans, and the Tiger mascot for making the trip. Didn't see the Wildcat. Too busy doing Wildcat things.
Getting ready for basketball.
Yeah. Edgar dominated every opponent after week 1. No game in doubt late in any of the games. And beat his state champ with a running clock.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Can there be an encore for Coach Sins?
There's got to be.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's close to being done.
No.
Stratford goes back-to-back thanks to an 11.5-minute drive, then blocked field goal, a fumble recovery, a holding penalty, and game-winning field goal all in the last 20 seconds.
Crazy sequence. It was a half hour that nobody in Stratford will ever forget.
No. And being in the press box, just insanity.
Yeah.
It honestly, and it wasn't just us. I mean, we obviously have a cheering interest, but the entire press box was buzzing about the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Kicker Lorenz Plattner, German exchange student, will likely never have a sporting moment as big as that kick. Most popular kid still in school today.
I wonder if back home, too, he's as popular now.
Hopefully they know what football is.
I think so. You know, we just had an NFL game in Munich a couple weeks ago.
They had a good one, too.
Yeah, and there was when NFL Europe, and even there was a professional league back before then. My friend Scott played in Germany, played professional football. So I think so. But he's certainly the most popular kid in Stratford.
I remember NFL Europe.
Yeah, it was a thing.
It was a thing. Mm-hmm. Rip in peace. 3 weeks in, girls basketball is, quoting Seinfeld, getting hot and heavy.
Yeah, hot and heavy.
A few undefeated teams still.
You told him we were hot and heavy?
Exactly. For those that don't know, I have a Seinfeld quote in all of these.
Yeah, well, it's a message for life, Seinfeld is.
It really is. Yeah. A few undefeated teams still. A few state-ranked teams. Zaleski Sports Poll, Division 4, Phillips at number 7.
Okay.
Division 5, Assumption number 3.
Yeah.
Both playing well, and they play each other in Rapids.
Coming up.
Friday night.
Coming up.
Auburndale, some nice wins over Newman and Columbus Catholic. Stratford is surprising early on.
Yeah, beat Poynette a couple days ago and had a couple other wins, I think.
Marathon, yep.
Yeah.
Despite being picked at the bottom, not by us, but by state experts. Experts.
Yeah, quote, air quotes.
Yeah. Edgar also off to a strong start. Once again, the South appears better than the North.
Michaela Workus just filling it up. I mean, she's scoring in bunches.
Yeah.
Early on.
Made a jump this year.
Yeah.
It's good. It's still early. Crossover action on Friday will tell a better picture. 'Tis the season for holiday tournaments.
Yeah.
My one request.
Okay, let's have it.
For athletic directors.
Yes.
In our area.
Okay.
Please find teams that will make your programs better.
Yeah.
Play up in skill or up in record to better your seed come playoff time.
Yeah, better yourself too.
Yeah, for sure. Cranberry Classic. Seeing games of 82-6 and 74-28.
Yeah, what's the point?
Does little to drive attendance.
Yeah. Attendance, interest, enthusiasm, competition. We accomplish none of those things.
Yep. Other Merriwood schools are playing D2 games in Wausau in the same time.
Yeah.
It all matters in the end, whether it's seed or skill in your team. Boys basketball, still early. Marathon, ranked number 2, easily gets by Spencer. Mm-hmm. They have an easy road until Concordia. How good can they be this year? We're going to find out.
Looking forward to Concordia. Looking forward to that. That's just a few weeks away. We'll be at the Rick Majerus WBY shootout again this year. A whole bunch of teams recovering, including Marathon. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. South looking tougher than we thought. In the North, remember the name of sophomore Evan Lord.
Okay.
For Prentice.
The Lord.
Dropped 35 against Abbotsford.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of dropping, that's the end of this week's Merriwood Minute.
All right. Another good one. That's why Mid-State comes on board to make sure this thing keeps happening every week. Yeah, that was really good, Dan. Thanks for the effort. Thanks for putting it together. And with that, we're gonna drop anchor on the show.
Right.
Well, this is gonna do it. Games. So I go here to ZaleskiSports.com. You all should too. I click schedule.
No games tonight, but something tonight.
There is. We've got a girls basketball coaches show that launches at 6:00 and rolls on until about 8:00. We've got 6 or 7 girls basketball coaches from the area. Myself, Gene Delisio, will be at Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield. We will be Nuts Deep at Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield.
I have never heard of
Spencer.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's there's a history with the name, just like there was with True. There's a history with this name too. So that's tonight at 6. That'll be watched on all of these channels. So River Falls at Eau Claire Memorial boys hockey, Denmark at Wapaka. Let's see, put these in order here. Pacelli at Greenwood, DC Everest at Mosinee. Those are girls basketball games on Thursday. Boys basketball on Thursday. Adams Friendship at Amherst. Another big day on the network on Thursday.
Greenwood girls, are they the story of the season so far?
So far, 2-0, buzzer beater. Congrats to Trevor Wietrick and his Greenwood Indians so far.
Yeah.
But Pacelli comes to town, who knows? On Friday, Prentice at Stratford, Abbotsford at Auburndale, Shawamigan and those are girls basketball games on Friday, and then boys basketball on Friday. Check this out. Got a lot of games on Friday, too. Denmark at Wapaka, Merrill at Mosinee, Abbotsford at Auburndale, Phillips at Assumption, Shawamigan at Marathon. It's a doubleheader that day.
Is there?
That's what it says here. Prentice basketball team hits the hardwood, and then we've got one hockey game on Friday, and it's the Fox City Stars at the Pacelli Cardinals.
Maybe I can convince Trevor to stay for both games, or whoever's coming with me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you get a chance to talk to him soon because he's right behind the wall, and that's where we are going next. Thanks for watching.